So one of the first things I did was basically figure out the volume of water that flows through rivers in the world, which apparently is about 1.1 million cubic meters per second.
That sounds like a big number.
Which, that is a big number. And so my next thought was kind of like, okay, so that's a lot of water. Theoretically, like, how quickly would you drain out the ocean if you were doing this? Turns out the ocean is really big.
Also a thing I learned doing research.
So the ocean is approximately 1.347 quintillion cubic meters of water.
How many zeros is that?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot of zeros.
It's a lot of euros. Yeah.
That's one of those big old made up numbers, huh?
Yeah, I think actually just looking here, it looks like it's about 15 zeros. So you got some water there. So I was hoping that maybe we have a nice, pretty dramatic timeline here, but actually just assuming that all of the water was flowing up and not getting replaced, it would take like 56,000 years. So it's a pretty gradual process, actually.
So you literally don't have to do anything about it.
Yeah, like nothing changes.
Well, there are some changes. There are some exciting changes. One of them, it's not a huge deal. About 16% of the world's power is generated by hydroelectric dams and stuff. I'm assuming all of that would immediately break.
Or would it go backwards and suck out energy?
I don't think that happens, but I'm pretty sure they did not design these things to go backwards. I just don't think they thought that was going to be possible. That seems like a reasonable assumption. One thing I didn't get too deep into, the distribution of water is going to change because, like, the Amazon River, its flow is like 209,000 cubic meters per second, which is like a fifth of that number from earlier. So if it were just all flowing there, you're going to have a lot of water in South America, like an absurd amount of water in/above/whatever South America.
/above. Do you know the high point in South America?
I couldn't figure out. So it's really hard to trace through the rivers in South America because there's just like 30 rivers that all feed into the Amazon. So it actually gets kind of distributed, but speaking of high points, that's probably the most fun thing that's going to happen in this situation that I kind of realized is, as you know, or maybe you don't, and you're learning something right now, rivers cause erosion. So as rivers flow down towards the ocean, they pick up rocks and sand and shit like that and just pull it all down. And when the river slows down, it drops. When it gets to the ocean, a bunch dumps out there. I'm really sad I could not find a good number on how much sediment comes out at the basin of a river. But with rivers flowing up, it's all just going to keep going up. So if you have if the source of the water is like a mountain, it's going to build the mountain high. Like, that has to stop somewhere. Like,
Everest's days are numbered as the tallest mountain.
Right? And then, like theoretically, it doesn't stop if the water is going to keep flowing that way. So, like, eventually, the Earth is just going to shift into, like, these crazy peaks where the water's coming from.
It's just going to be, like, one spiky ball.
Right, yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting. But once again, this is going to take 56,000 years, apparently, so...
By that time, the world's just going to be super warm and all the water's going to evaporate anyway.
Well, also, the other fun thing is that, sort of also on that note, a lot of rivers are sourced from glaciers, so the water, I'm assuming, would flow back to them, and I don't know what happens then.
Glaciers also not designed to take all the water back.
Right. They're kind of a one-way street, I think. So
yeah, we gotta get some. What happened to these glacier engineers? Getting lazy, really.
Yeah, you gotta future-proof your glaciers, guys. It's just smart design. So I don't really have a plan to deal with this because once I realized the time frame, I was like, I mean, I can just kind of hang out and go lazy river, just go backwards now. Yay! Who the fuck cares? Like, whatever.
How does this affect my local water park?
It doesn't do much to me, but it does suffer the world over a long period of time, and I thought that was kind of cool.